This is Heart Rhythm TV, and I'm Ambrose Panico. I'm here with somebody many of us admire, Dr. Vivek Reddy, to discuss the admIRE trial. Dr. Reddy, welcome to the HRS TV studio. So first question for us, this was obviously the proof of concept, proof of feasibility for the first PFA platform for Cardo Biosense Webster. What do you think is the important things for us to take away about the catheter itself?
Yeah, no, first of all, thanks so much for having me. So this is a trial called the admIRE trial, which is really the pivotal study for this particular catheter in the United States. There was an earlier trial called inspIRE, which is conducted in a smaller number of centers, smaller number of patients in Europe, and that showed promise in terms of treating paroxysmal atrial fibrillation patients. And this is, again, the bigger trial. I think the catheter is somewhat unique in the sense that it is driven by basically a mapping system that's fairly prevalent in the United States, the Biosense Webster Cardo mapping system. So in some sense, it could integrate relatively seamlessly with the workflow of many operators, minimizing fluoro, sort of lesion indexing, etc. So I think that's part of the interest of this particular technology.
I think one of the things that a lot of us might struggle with is the nightmares of fellowship and the lasso catheter. So, I joke like they're really trying to bring sexy back for the lasso catheter with this one, right? But it's interesting because this is probably just the segue for the platform. And where do you think this catheter will fit in, a couple years from now?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I mean, while it is a lasso-like catheter, and ostensibly the idea is to tip the loop and put it at the ostium, we all know that it don't work like that. The way I think about this catheter, more like what I would call a regional ablation catheter, where you take the catheter, put it, try to ablate a region of the vein, then move it in a slightly different direction, One of the strengths of the catheter is that because all 10 electrodes are delivering pulse field energy at the same time, you're able to ablate a fair amount of tissue relatively quickly. So the workflow with the catheter is quite favorable. In fact, in the trial, 270 some patients, 39 operators, we had, if you look at the transpired ablation time, the time from the beginning of the first lesion to the end of the last lesion, it was a mean of 31 minutes, which is pretty good, particularly given that most operators were using this technology for the first time.
Right. Which is it's very promising for those of us who haven't had a chance to use it, and certainly will alleviate some of our concerns about adapting to it, that it won't be as big of a change as we think. So great. Well, thank you again for joining us to talk about the trial. We look forward to seeing you back in the booth tomorrow. So with that, this is HRS TV. I'm Ambrose Panico. You can follow us for more content on X, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you know where we're at on YouTube.